coming from the United States of America. This time from the state of Wisconsin, where a shooter has reportedly wounded multiple people during a funeral service at Graceland Cemetery. Now, according to the police department, multiple shots were fired at Graceland Cemetery in the afternoon hours of the day. The authorities say that there are victims, but they are not sure as to how many of them are there at this point of time. The residents were advised to stay away from the scene of crime, as it is still an active place and is being investigated by the authorities. Gun violence is becoming a common phenomenon in the US, where the country is still recovering from a series of devastating mass shootings, which have taken place in just a span of a month. The one such incident, a racist rampage, was carried out at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, where 13 people were shot at, out of which 10 were killed. Then a massacre took place at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, where 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. And the latest incident happened yesterday itself, where 4 people were killed inside a medical building in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All these incidents has reignited a long-standing national debate over US gun laws.
We're treating this as a catastrophic scene in there now, so we're trying our best to navigate through every single floor.
Jill and I visited Arlington National Cemetery. As we entered those hallowed grounds, we saw rows and rows of crosses among the rows of headstones with other emblems of belief, honoring those who paid the ultimate price on battlefields around the world. The day before, we visited Uvalde, Texas. In front of Robb Elementary School, we stood before 21 crosses for 19 third and fourth graders and 2 teachers. On each cross, a name, and nearby, a photo of each victim that Jill and I reached out to touch. Innocent victims murdered in a classroom that had been turned into a killing field. Standing there in that small town, like so many other communities across America, I couldn't help but think there are too many other schools, too many other everyday places that have become killing fields, battlefields here in America. We stood at such a place just 12 days before, across from a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, memorializing 10 fellow Americans, a spouse, a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, gone forever. At both places, we spent hours with hundreds of family members who were broken, whose lives will never be the same. They had one message for all of us: do something. Just do something. For God's sake, do something. After Columbine, after Sandy Hook, after Charleston, after Orlando, after Las Vegas, after Parkland, nothing has been done. This time that can't be true. This time we must actually do something. The issue we face is one of conscience and common sense. For so many of you at home, I want to be very clear. This is not about taking away anyone's guns. It's not about vilifying gun owners. In fact, we believe we should be treating responsible gun owners as an example of how every gun owner should behave. I respect the culture and the tradition and the concerns of lawful gun owners. At the same time, the Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute. It was Justice Scalia who wrote, and I quote, "Like most rights, the rights granted by the Second Amendment are not unlimited. Not unlimited. It never has been. There have always been limitations on what weapons you can own in America. For example, Machine guns have been federally regulated for nearly 90 years, and this is still a free country. This isn't about taking away anyone's rights.